I will say I never wanted to be a rodeo queen. I was a cowgirl. I just kind of loved Western style riding. The proper riding was never something I was taught, but once I did start rodeo queening, I'd learned, you know, the balance and things like that, just being more proper and pretty. But it wasn't something I walked into like, oh, you know, I'm going to this pageant and I'm going to be crowned. Rodeo queening, I was just so happened to be doing a drill team pattern at this pageant, and they had at this rodeo, and they had a rodeo queen pageant going on. I was like, okay, I'm gonna hop in and do the rodeo queen pageant. I just so happened to win. A rodeo queen is the ambassador of the sport of rodeo for whatever organization she's representing at that time. And I just so happen to be the Arkansas's first black rodeo queen, so I kind of represent the state continuously. It just kind of hasn't ended. And so I remember going and looking whenever I was 17 and I was crowned Miss Rodeo Coal Hill for the woman for me to look up to. And I didn't find her, you know, I'm Googling black rodeo queens, but I didn't know that I was one of the first ones. So it's kind of bittersweet, but it just reminded me that I had a mission, I had things that I needed to do and get accomplished and make sure that I'm not one of the only black rodeo queens ever. So Ag for Kids was established about 2.5 years ago. It's agricultural skills and knowledge for kids, and we go to the inner city communities. I grew up in Fort Smith, Arkansas. We didn't have Ag FFA and 4-H. I had to go to school 20 minutes outside the city to be able to learn this knowledge. I'd always hosted events where I'm bringing horses out and allowing kids to ride and bringing out different animals, and through all of that, Ag for Kids came to attrition. And like I said, I like to keep everything free for the kids. The kids don't pay a dime. They didn't pay anything for the Miss Rodeo Fort Smith pageant or anything like that. Ag for Kids supplies everything. So it's just been really filling that need. You know, I always hear from the rodeo boards, oh, we have one black person, we're diverse. You know, it's like, for me, diversity and representation was so important. I kind of just okay, I'm in my own lane. I don't really have to keep reaching out to these people and you know, trying to make myself feel comfortable going to compete for these titles and things. I was like, I could kind of just start my own, and that's how Miss Rodeo Fort Smith started, the very first one, and 32 girls turn out to come out and compete, and we just kind of went from there. It makes my heart smile. It makes me so happy to be able to give opportunities back to young girls, especially, you know, diverse little girls, because this is what you don't see in the rodeo queen industry. We're not copy and paste. It's a completely different type of rodeo queen pageant. Trying to break molds, trying to create differences, trying to create change within communities and societies and industries that are so used to the copy and paste. And that was what was so different for me about Miss Rodeo Fort Smith, is we're not the copy and paste rodeo queen pageant. You know, this is the biggest rodeo queen pageant that has ever happened in Arkansas, but not only that, the most diverse rodeo queen pageant ever. I can speak that and say it confidently. You know, I always say horses saved my life when I was 6 years old, so if I could be that for someone else, I'd never want to take away that opportunity. So, I mean, I know the woman that introduced me to horses when I was 6 would have never thought I would be half this person, so it's like, if I could do that again, it's important to me.